Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today, man, we're going to be talking about Alpha Male Boot Camp, okay? Now, this is something I already technically made a video about. A little over a month ago at this point, I made a video on my channel talking about Alpha Male Boot Camp and how these I don't know, basically, like, it's really just people who have no self-guidance or have no self-respect. They don't view themselves as real men, quote-unquote, whatever that means to them, right? And these people, for whatever reason, are willing to spend thousands upon thousands of dollars to have another grown man basically just be like an elementary school bully to them, right? Like, I don't really understand the benefit or the purpose of these programs, really, other than getting the person who came up with them rich. So this one, though, is an even bigger, more egregious example, in my opinion, though. The last one, I don't remember the exact dollar amount that it was costing people to do. I think it was anywhere from like 8 to 12, maybe 15,000, but this one is more expensive, and it is apparently only a weekend alpha male camp. I don't know how that works, but the Modern Day Night Project describes itself as a, quote, 75-hour personal growth experience that claims to help, quote, men who want to live a life filled with fulfillment, purpose, financial freedom, and have a deep, loving relationship with their family. With an $18,000 price tag attached, the website states that the 3-day experience is only for, quote, entrepreneurs, executives, and leaders, and will prove to be, quote, one of the toughest physical and mental challenges any participant will have ever experienced. However, a clip of the MDK project shared on Twitter, we'll just call it that, has left many internet users ridiculing those signing up for what they described as being an alpha male camp. Okay, so let's go ahead and just think about some of the entry-level facts here. So first off, 3-day experience, 75 hours, so I don't know, they're starting at the beginning of the weekend, leaving off at the end. I'm not totally sure here, but apparently this will help men live a life full of fulfillment, purpose, financial freedom, with a deep, loving relationship with their family. So it's really, you go here for a weekend and every single problem in your life is just instantaneously fixed, apparently. Are you a degenerate gambling addict who can't save any of his money and is constantly eating ramen noodles to fucking survive? Hey, guess what, bro? You need Alpha Male Boot Camp. You having some problems with the family, you and dad and your sister maybe not getting along too well, right? That's because you have yet to attend Alpha Male Boot Camp. So I just want to also add, and this is obviously the craziest part here, $18,000, okay? I'm pretty sure if I, as a single guy, decided I wanted to spend a weekend in Miami surrounded by nothing but bottle service, strippers, and sports cars, I could probably have a cheaper weekend in Miami and have a whole lot more fun with that 18 grand, right? You could take 18 grand and do a lot with it, right? But never in my mind has it crossed to ever decide, hey, fuck it, bro. I got 18 grand burning a hole in my pocket. What am I about to do with this shit? You know what, though? I was seeing a video online talking about this alpha male boot camp that I could spend my money on. So, like the article says, there's a video of this shit for us to take a look at here. So I want to go ahead and I want to break this open so we can see what the fucking boot camp is looking like. Because, you know, maybe I'm just some beta. Maybe I really don't know what it's like in the real hood, right? So
look around, look at each other. Look to your left and to your right. More than 60% will not be here fucking Friday. I guarantee it. And I'll make sure you earn the right to be here every fucking second. Because I see in your fucking eyes that most of you don't fucking belong here. And I'll be dead. I'll take this fucking knife off my fucking waist and carve this fucking tattoo off my fucking hand before that any of you fucking bitches show up here on Friday for the graduation. I see it in your fucking eyes already. Your fucking souls are mine.
Alright, so, I don't know, this absolute lunatic decides to pull out a knife and start screaming. I guess this is part of the alpha male boot camp. I think this is like the instructor or whatever, right? And you gotta love just the class full of very awesome people who decided to spend $18,000 of their money, their parents' inheritance, I really don't know, right? But spend this much money to go sit in a community college classroom so a guy who is living out some fucking Boy Scout fantasy can get paid. Like, so they paid $18,000 to sit here for a weekend, and I guess the best that the instructor can come up with here to get you on the path to financial freedom, good relationships with your family, basically just fixing every problem in your life, right? But the road to getting there is looking to your left and looking to your right, because wow, guys, more than 60% of the people who come here are expected to flunk out of alpha male boot camp. So I don't know if flunking out of alpha male boot camp either shows that you're a normal person, you're too well adjusted, and you just were a little lost or whatever and just made the wrong decision, or if it means there is literally no fucking saving you as a person, because I mean, you couldn't pass alpha male boot camp, which you paid $18,000 to go to, right? So I just want to point out, having a failure rate of like 60% or whatever, that is not an intimidating failure rate. I mean, he might as well just looked at him and been like, 1 out of every 3 of you is gonna pass this with flying colors. There will be no problems. Like, but of course, if he said that, it would sound like, oh, this isn't really alpha male boot camp, right? So I also just want to point out too, I think he has this idea, and we saw this kind of in the last alpha male boot camp video too. I think he has the idea that like if he cusses a lot while yelling, that makes him like intimidating, or it makes him like command the room more, as if like the world has never seen a fucking guy screaming with a knife in his hand before, dude. Like, no one there is stupid enough to believe that you're going to quote unquote carve this tattoo out of your hand with this knife before you let anyone in this room quote unquote graduate alpha male boot camp, right? So I mean, the stats don't lie. Like, bro already told them 3 seconds ago, hey, 40 or more % of you will probably pass this class. And then now he's turning around and saying he'll carve his fucking chunks of flesh out if that means that it stops people from making it through. If you are this hard and you are really about it, like you're saying you're about it, and you're really trying to like inflict or instill some sort of command, why aren't all your fucking tattoos cut out, bud? Like, is this your first alpha male boot camp? We don't do that around these parts, bro. Like, come on, man. Paying $10,000 for an alpha male camp is the most beta shit ever, ex-user Jorge Santanas wrote in the caption of the shared clip. Viewers largely agreed, labeling the class as laughable and sharing their bafflement over the price tag. Quote, "What a waste of money. Go to the military where they'll pay you for the same treatment," one person wrote. Another user said, quote, "Is there anything less alpha than paying another man to scream at you?" No, really, there is not anything less alpha than paying another grown man to treat you like a fucking child all day. But I mean, this isn't a terrible suggestion though, right? Like, these guys are clearly, they're looking for some sort of guidance. They're looking for another guy to like fucking straighten them out for whatever reason. So yeah, I don't know. The military, that might be a pretty good option. Like, my grandfather, he said when he was my age, right, that the military really helped him out because it basically took him from like a young dumb guy who had pretty much no head on his shoulders or plan, and it turned him into somebody with like a fucking routine and some habit and whatnot. So that's like what you usually hear. So I went ahead and looked it up just to kind of compare the dropout rates here, okay? And I looked up Navy SEAL training, which I don't know if you guys have ever seen like Marine or Navy SEAL training videos. It looks like actual hell, you know? It's not just some fucking dude, some chud who charged you 18 grand, standing there fucking screaming about how he'll cut himself like an emo kid if you don't do what he says or whatever, right? You know, it's an actual man, you feel me? It's a real man really out here making you show your worth type shit. They got the Navy SEALs and whatever out here fucking figuring out how to get their tied wrists unbound in the water and shit. Like, they really show them some serious stuff. So apparently, from what I looked at online, around 1,000 people will go into Navy SEAL training every given cycle or whatever. And out of that 1,000, 250 or so will make it through the training. Keep in mind, these are like the top of the top people who can even really make it into Navy SEAL Academy. So even of like the top of the tops for the Navy SEALs, there's an at least 75% failure rate. And these guys are over here flexing 60 like that's big dog shit or something, bro. And you're charging $18,000 to do it, you know what I mean? I can get paid to go be a Navy SEAL, right? Like, if I want a dude screaming in my face type shit, I can go take out a terrorist leader or save some hostages while I'm at it. Like, I feel like that is the real alpha male, you know what I mean? When I'm thinking of alpha male, I'm not thinking of some Redditor chud who, I guess his mom doesn't like him or whatever, so he forked up $18,000 to go to Alpha Male Boot Camp. Like, I feel like I haven't talked about these folks enough, because out of all of it, right, you know, I'm sure you could blame the people running this event, but in reality, it's kind of like my argument with the OnlyFans girls and whatnot, right? If there's a market for it and you can make money doing it, is it really up for me to be like, man, fuck you for getting to the bag? Because, like, let's really break that down. This guy is essentially spending his weekends yelling at a bunch of goofballs, and every person pays him almost 20 racks to do it. So, like, just going back through this video, because there was low-key a decent amount of people in this fucking class. There was low-key a good amount of people who paid to get into this shit, right? So, just off the top of the head from the video, it looks like there's about, I don't know, 5 to 6 guys per row, and there's 3-4 rows. So there's about 15 to 22, I'll say, dudes who paid for this attendance and are there on this weekend, right? Now, I'm assuming this isn't every weekend, right? But I mean, still, that's what, 15 to 20 dudes who each paid almost $20,000 to be in this class. So just think, the people running this event just made 6 figures quite easily by getting a bunch of sad guys on the internet to think, gee, I'm not really man enough, okay? I need to go to fucking Alpha Male Boot Camp and spend $20,000 to sit in a warehouse room with, like, I don't know, I think they got like army bags and like some fatigues or something going on here, right? I don't know. None of this shit to me screams, oh, you're going to achieve financial security, good relationships with your family. Like, not to be judgmental, but like judging what I'm seeing on this video, these are the types of dudes that spend 18 grand going to boot camp, and then 6 months later you find out they've been beating the shit out of their girlfriend or something when they get home from work. I mean, I'm sorry, it's just not any normal dude who's like, man, fuck it, I'm about to go to the weekend Alpha Male Boot Camp, right? Like, I think I would rather be lost in Disneyland, you know? I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem like the type of shit that I would be into, really anyone I know would be into, right? I get it, right? There's dudes out there who feel like they lack purpose or they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, but I cannot imagine getting sucked into the wormhole of thinking that the answer to all of that isn't, you know, going to therapy or working on yourself as a man or, you know, bettering your circumstances around you so you're happier. Instead of doing any of that productive shit, fuck it, let's spend 18 grand on Alpha Male Boot Camp. What's craziest about the video though, and what's honestly saddest about it, is like these grown men. I mean, how many dudes do you know just have $18,000 to dump on something this fucking stupid? You know what I mean? Like, just on some idiotic type of shit. So I'm going to assume that most of these guys here did not work up and save that money, right? Maybe they got 18 grand because, you know, their parents passed away and they had some inheritance, or they got their life savings or something into this boot camp, right? Like, this is not an inconsequential amount of money that these dudes are spending. So it just really makes you realize the worst when you think about it that way. But I don't know. The whole point of being an alpha male is supposed to be you don't have to have somebody else tell you what to do. Like, this whole idea of being taught how to be an alpha male is just, it's a fucking oxymoron. It doesn't actually make any sense. It doesn't really compute, because alpha males, according to what we've been taught, are men who, they do it on their own. They don't need some other fucking guy to show them the path. They are the lone wolf out here. They can really do it on their own type of shit, right? But then, according to Alpha Male Boot Camp, you need to spend money to have some other alpha male teach you how to really get into this shit like that. That's not how that works, man. That's not how any of this shit works. These guys are getting taken for a fucking ride here is what's happening. So anyway, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps the channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, talking about Alpha Male Boot Camp and signing out. And that's a wrap on this video, but big shout out to my Optimus Nation supporters. You guys are the real MVPs. For $10 a month, you get access to loads of exclusive videos and archived live streams, my members only Minecraft server where you can possibly appear in gameplay, early access to all new uploads, an invitation to the private Discord, and much more.